Hey, it's Audrey, and welcome back to Squirrel. In this episode, we go deep into something I think a lot of us wrestle with. How do we stay motivated? Or more honestly, what do we do when motivation disappears? I'm joined by Yule and Elie, and what starts as a conversation about swimming turns into something way bigger. Faith, pain, discipline, and why some of us keep pushing the boulder uphill again and again. Let's dive in.
How do you guys get motivation?
So, as a swimmer, I found out about motivation itself when I was freshman. I don't think motivation is the important part.
I agree, actually.
It's I don't know the English word, it's the going on and on. What is that called? Discipline, yeah. So, motivation comes to anyone. When you want to have a goal, it just comes out naturally.
The music is matching what you're saying. Keep going.
It just comes out naturally. Like, I wanted to become a really good swimmer, so I woke up at 6:30 every day.
Oh.
But motivation is, I'm gonna have this plan and do this. And the thing is, I think everyone can think in that way, but discipline is the key thing that starts that goal.
I see. Then how do you keep having discipline?
Not losing faith in that you're gonna achieve that goal. I still haven't achieved that goal, and I think there is less and less chance now since my body's getting older and I haven't reached that potential.
Okay, you're a kid.
So 18, what do you mean?
You can feel that your body isn't responding the way you did in freshman. In freshman, I could just wake up at 6:30 and go on the day, go into the gym and go to class and do swimming. I could do that. But now, if I don't have enough sleep, I can't even do well in classes. It's like it should be very calculative now. Discipline helps me go on because I have faith that even though I don't reach that goal, I became this kind of person. So,
What do you mean by even if you don't reach that goal, you become this person?
The myth of Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. That's the guy who rolls the rock, right?
That's like an important thing for modern philosophy. They all talk about life is just on, and it seems like you can't reach the goals. What do you do then? You just fail and not do it anymore?
Give up.
Do you give up? No. The modern philosopher says that you should go on, even though it seems like the goal is never achievable.
Yeah, I actually like the idea that, once Ed Sheeran said, so he basically said, even if you can't achieve that goal, if you set an objective, you can always go to the middle, until the middle of that path. You could at least go somewhere with it, in the same path, even if you can't achieve that specific goal. So it's important to at least try, because you never know what's going to happen. And there is a possibility that you can get there, but even if you can't get there, you can still do something along that line.
I think you guys both emphasize the process of it. Even if you don't get to the end point, you're trying, and you're the process of rolling that stone up the hill. But what if you don't enjoy that process? Swimming is really hard.
Yeah, I feel that.
I hear a lot of that, and I used to swim a little bit, so it was really painful.
Yeah. The interesting thing about it is that I hate it. I hate to swim those hard sessions. There's 1 hour of warm-up and then 1 hour of main set. So in between, I can go to the bathroom, and I made myself go to the bathroom, and that's like a resetting time. I go to the bathroom and say to myself, you can do this. It's not going to be hard. It's going to be, you're going to get over this. That's every day. I hate the pain, but then if you finish it, you feel really accomplished. And you have your teammates. If I didn't have my teammates, I don't think I could endure all this pain. The process, if you don't like it, it means that it means that it's not your job. It's not your type.
It's not your thing.
Yeah, it's not your thing. You should go somewhere else that you can go on and on.
I think it's important to have a strong faith because that's what keeps you go even further, even if you're like experiencing pain or if you're experiencing really hard things in that process. And having that faith really allows you to ground yourself, and it's like a flame that is super strong but gets down really easily, and the other one is steady and it continues for a long time. I think motivation is the former, where it's like really big in the beginning and it like shrinks really easily. But motivation is something that keeps
Discipline?
discipline, yeah, exactly. Is something that is still there. Like even during the hardest times, you're still keeping that. You're still onto that faith. And that's why it's like a steady flame that continues to carry on in that hardship and throughout the process.
I think I used to believe in more like the traditional modern belief that motivation, it helps you, but discipline is more important. It is true, but now I'm leaning more towards into what if you get motivation every day?
I think it's like a balance of both.
Yeah, balance is very important.
Actually, yeah.
Balance is very important.
I think like motivation is something very that fluctuates quite a lot, and discipline is still there. So balancing motivation, like if you're having a lot of motivation, that's good, right? It's not a bad thing. You should use that to help yourself. But when it's low, you can rely on discipline. So I think having both is important.
Or what were you gonna say? It's better to have motivation every day than discipline?
Because it's like these concepts of discipline, motivation, it sounds easy, but discipline is really hard. Faith does not continue if you don't what's it called? Wonder about the faith. If you don't, there's always a time where you don't trust that faith anymore.
You doubt the faith.
You know, doubt, yeah. That's the word. But motivation, having motivation every day is, I think it feels more positive and easy. I wake up every day. I started this not long ago. I wake up every day and don't go to the phone. I try not to go to the phone because that's like the easiest way of waking up.
Yeah.
I do that almost every morning.
And I say, I'm thankful for this day. And then before I go to swimming, I say, I'm going to win today. I'm going to do good today. Because one mind-blowing thing I saw when I was walking towards the locker room a few months ago, Harry was there, and Harry was smiling so brightly. And I was like, what are you smiling for? Bro, it's going to be so hard, and it's practice, and it's over and over. And I asked him, why is he smiling? And he's like, bro, it's the best time of the day.
Wow.
It's a mindset.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. I never thought about swimming like that before. I thought it's going to be suffering, pain, and then you get the prize after. But it's not that. It's the mindset. Suffering, I think pain doesn't exist. It's just concept. If you think that's bless, pain is a bless.
Wow, that's really powerful.
It's a gift. Only humans can have. We don't know about animals, but in this world, it is a bless to have pain, and it's not always. Pain is not always like bad and suffering, but it's like a gift that you have a chance.
Why do you think pain is a blessing?
These days, I'm more focused on the separation. No, it's not separation. No. Two concepts.
Okay.
One, pain and happiness. Those are two separate concepts, right? That is contrasting each other. And those things exist in the world a lot. I can't think about an example. Like hunger and not hunger. I always thought that pain was something negative and it's going to be too much painful. And I always asked, I'm an atheist, but I still ask to God, even though I don't believe him. Why is this happening to me? It wasn't that. It was like, it happens because you're gonna, it's both important to have both pain and happiness. Happiness has the same value as pain because if one doesn't exist, pain doesn't exist, happiness doesn't exist at all.
I
It's
agree with
a
that.
connection.
Yin and yang.
Yeah.
I see.
That's why if you think happiness is a gift, pain is also a gift.
That's a very strong mindset.
Thank you. All this philosophy came out of swimming and 3 years in Mersuva. Just think about how I should live.
Do you think? Wait, do you have time? Do you
Yeah.
have to go?
We can continue another time if
Yeah,
you're still
I mean-
interested.
I'm really interested.
Alright.
Because there's not much people I can talk to.
Yeah,
and
that's true. I feel the same way. Like, whenever I think deeply, like, she's the one that I always talk to, but I feel like I have a connection with a lot of people in a surface level, but not to the extent where I can talk about deep things.
Because I'm like a positive person. I always think the world is full of positiveness. There might be evil, but I believe in more of
Positivity,
the positivity. The reason why you can't have deep conversation with people, I think it's because they lost the experience of thinking deeply and having conversation with them. I think everyone has the ability to think deep and question themselves about the world, but they just lost it over time because people ignore them, ignore that questions.
Yeah. And I also think, like, having a really life-changing experience or an experience that really opens up your mind can make you think deeply about yourself and reflect on yourself more. Because for me, like, coming to Mercersburg and being in an international boarding school really changed me. Like, before that, I'd never thought about deep things. Because I thought, yeah, every day was just happiness. Like, just joy. And I didn't experience the hardship or suffering. I didn't experience that. As you said, like, it's difficult to feel the
joy.
yeah,
unless
exactly.
you have
Feel
the
the
pain
joy
and the
unless you have that pain or suffering. So I didn't appreciate the fact that I had those before. But now I feel like I've experienced not enough suffering, but like a lot of hardships as well, not just happiness, that I understand I appreciate how much, like, I'm grateful for this experience and just being here.
And you said you were happy before, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think you suddenly realize that there is pain?
Okay, it's like a long story actually, but the reason why I came here was because I was homeschooled in Japan for years, and I honestly really struggled to fit into the Japanese educational system or middle school, and I think there was a lot of time that I reflected on myself during this process of, I should probably study abroad and to experience new things. Yeah, and I was really depressed during that time, and it really changed my perspective completely. That, there is such a thing called suffering. I didn't even think that it was possible for humans to experience this level of suffering, if you know what I mean. I just was living in too much joy before, and I suddenly experienced so much pain and suffering that I was like, it's possible for humans to go through this kind of thing. And that made me really appreciate that joy.
I think it comes from knowing about the world brings you pain.
So you think it's not the pain that brings you knowledge, but the knowledge that brings you pain?
It works both, I think, but what I want to emphasize is as you learn more, you get educated more, people understand things, and then they have these burdens in their mind, and they have the standards because they know things, because they know that they have this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because kids, they don't know how the world goes through, and they don't have expectations. They don't need a standard. That's why they're always enjoying that. It's fun. The world is a playground.
Yeah, for me, when I was constantly experiencing joy, just as childhood, when I just don't experience any pain or suffering, I just think that's a norm. That's the way that the world works.
I think though, you're saying that it's yeah, go ahead.
But I think now I have this expectation, because before I experienced this kind of joy, a lot of joy and a lot of happiness.
Yeah.
And that makes me think that, why am I not achieving this level of happiness right now? This was the norm before, and now I'm experiencing such a low state of mind that is so different. There's a gap between those two. And that's something that I struggle to understand.
Thanks for listening to part 1 of this group conversation. I loved how Yule and Elie opened up about discipline and the steady flame of faith, and how pain can be more than just suffering. Next time, we keep going deeper. Is pain always relative? Can you know joy without it? So stick around for part 2, and in the meantime, take care of yourself. You're doing more than you know.